What if every single moment in your life, no matter how chaotic or painful, was not random but deliberately placed to shape you? Imagine the trials that once crushed you are actually forging a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Each hardship a hidden message wrapped in struggle. This is the powerful heartbeat of Stoicism. Nothing occurs by chance, and every experience, especially the hardest ones, holds a vital purpose for your growth. In this journey, falls and failures stop being enemies and become your greatest teachers, urging you to evolve beyond your wounds. The courage to accept adversity doesn't numb the pain. It transforms it into a chisel, sculpting your inner strength and unlocking depths you never knew existed. And it's not only your struggles that matter. Every person who crosses your path plays a profound role, acting as a mirror reflecting both your virtues and shadows, pushing you toward self-awareness and growth. Time becomes more than just a clock ticking away. It's a patient ally, a silent architect, patiently preparing you for the right moments to bloom. Waiting isn't wasted. It's the quiet forging of new opportunities, the space where purpose ripens beyond your immediate desires. Loss no longer signals an end but a necessary clearing of old chapters, making room for rebirth, new beginnings, and deeper gratitude for the past's lessons. Stoicism invites you to reframe your entire reality, transform pain into wisdom, confusion into clarity, and chaos into meaning. It challenges you to trust in the profound order of life's unfolding, to embrace each moment as a deliberate stroke on the canvas of your soul's evolution. This path isn't easy, but within its challenge lies the promise of becoming not just resilient, but truly free, grounded in acceptance, virtue, and the unshakable truth that nothing in your life is ever without purpose. If this is making sense to you so far, if these reflections resonate with that quiet voice inside you seeking clarity, please take a moment to like the video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. It helps us reach more minds hungry for this kind of ancient wisdom in our modern world. We've explored how falls and failures are not ends, but powerful teachers, how courage transforms adversity into a chisel for your soul, how every person you encounter serves as a mirror, and how time itself is a patient ally, ripening opportunities beyond your immediate desires. But what about the moments that feel like true endings? The times when something or someone is irrevocably taken from you. Loss as a necessary clearing, making room for rebirth. Life, in its ceaseless motion, also includes moments of profound loss. A job vanishes, a relationship concludes, a dream shatters, a loved one departs. These are not merely difficult. They often feel like the fabric of our existence is being torn apart. We are conditioned to see loss as an enemy, as a void that diminishes us. But Stoicism invites us to reframe this most painful of experiences, to see it not as an end, but as a necessary clearing. Think of a forest after a fire. For a time, it looks utterly devastated, a landscape of ash and charred remains. Yet, beneath that surface, the soil is enriched, and seeds that lay dormant for years are now exposed to sunlight, poised to burst forth with new life. Or consider the gardener who prunes a rose bush. She cuts away what appears to be healthy growth, seemingly diminishing its vibrancy. But she knows that without this act of letting go, the bush would become unruly, its energy dispersed, and its future blooms less spectacular. Loss in this stoic light is precisely that, a radical pruning. It's a force that clears away the old, not to punish us, but to create fertile ground for rebirth, for new beginnings, and paradoxically, for a deeper gratitude for what once was. When something is taken, it carves out a space, an emptiness that, if we choose, can be filled with something new and more aligned with our evolving self. This isn't about denying the pain. The pain is real, and it must be felt. But it is about understanding that the pain is a temporary resident, and the clearing it creates is permanent opportunity. This perspective challenges our deep-seated attachment to externals. We often define ourselves by what we possess, our relationships, our careers, our material comforts. When these are removed, we feel diminished because we've mistakenly intertwined our core identity with things that were never truly ours to keep forever. The Stoics understood that everything external is loaned to us by fortune. We enjoy it for a time, and then it is reclaimed. To resist this natural cycle is to fight against the very nature of existence. Instead, when faced with loss, we are called to remember the profound lessons the experience offered, to cherish the gratitude for the time we had, and to open ourselves to the new pathways that inevitably emerge. A job loss, while financially daunting, might be the catalyst that forces you to explore a long-dormant passion, to start your own venture, or to gain skills you never thought you'd need. The end of a relationship, though heartbreaking, might free you from dynamics that no longer served your growth, allowing you to cultivate a deeper relationship with yourself, or to find a partnership built on a more solid foundation. This clearing isn't just about external events. It's also about letting go of old beliefs, old patterns, old versions of ourselves that no longer serve us. Sometimes, the universe steps in and does the clearing for us, forcing us to shed what we were unwilling to release voluntarily. And in that shedding, we discover a lightness, a new capacity for resilience, and an ability to perceive beauty and opportunity in places we previously overlooked. Reframing your entire reality, transforming pain into wisdom. The premise of Stoicism is not to eliminate pain, for pain is an inescapable part of the human experience. It is, rather, to transform pain into wisdom. This is perhaps one of the most radical and liberating tenets of this philosophy. We are all familiar with pain. The sting of a criticism, the ache of regret, the burning frustration of an unmet expectation, the physical discomfort of illness. Our natural instinct is to recoil, to avoid, to numb. But what if pain itself holds a profound message, a hidden lesson waiting to be unearthed? The Stoics taught us to distinguish between the event itself and our judgment of it. A toothache is an event, a sensory input. Our suffering, however, often comes from our judgment that this toothache is terrible, unbearable, or unfair. The physical sensation is one thing. The mental narrative we construct around it is another. While we cannot always control the onset of pain, we always retain the power to control how we interpret and respond to it. This doesn't mean we pretend the pain isn't there, but rather that we refuse to let it define us or dictate our inner state. Consider emotional pain, the sting of rejection, the shame of a mistake, the grief of a loss. These are not merely inconvenient sensations to be pushed away. They are signals. Rejection, for example, can be a harsh teacher about our boundaries, our self-worth, or the true nature of others. Shame, while uncomfortable, can prompt self-reflection and a commitment to align our actions with our values. Grief, the profound ache after a loss, is a testament to the depth of our connection, and its duration, while arduous, also serves as a period of profound reevaluation and eventually a deeper appreciation for the fleeting nature of life. When we approach pain with a Stoic mindset, we ask, what is this trying to teach me? How can I exercise virtue in this moment? Instead of asking, why me, we ask, what now? A difficult project at work that causes immense stress is not just a source of suffering. It's an opportunity to cultivate patience, problem-solving skills, and resilience under pressure. A health issue, while deeply unwelcome, can be an invitation to re-examine our lifestyle, to practice acceptance, and to find strength in vulnerability. Pain then becomes a tool, a sharpening stone for our character. It's in the crucible of discomfort that our virtues are forged. Courage when facing fear, temperance when resisting destructive impulses, wisdom when seeking understanding amidst chaos, and justice when extending compassion even to those who cause us pain. It's through navigating these rough waters that we truly come to know ourselves and discover capabilities we never knew we possessed. This transformation from pain to wisdom is not merely an intellectual exercise. It's a profound shift in how we engage with life itself, turning every challenge into an opportunity for growth and every wound into a source of strength. Reframing your entire reality, transforming confusion into clarity. In our hyper-connected, information-saturated world, confusion is a constant companion. We are bombarded with conflicting opinions, endless choices, and an ever-present sense of uncertainty about the future. From major career crossroads to minor daily dilemmas, the fog of confusion can be paralyzing, leaving us feeling lost and overwhelmed. But Stoicism offers a powerful antidote, inviting us to transform this confusion into clarity through the diligent application of reason and careful judgment. Our innate human tendency is to seek certainty, to crave clear answers and predictable outcomes. When these are absent, we often default to anxiety, overthinking, or impulsive decisions driven by a desire to escape the discomfort of not knowing. The Stoics understood that true clarity doesn't come from external circumstances aligning perfectly, but from an internal state of disciplined thought and an unwavering commitment to truth. The first step in transforming confusion is to recognize what is truly within our control and what is not. Much of our confusion stems from trying to control or predict external events that are inherently outside our sphere of influence. We agonize over the actions of others, the state of the economy, or the outcomes of situations where our input is minimal. By clearly demarcating this boundary, we immediately reduce the vast landscape of overwhelming possibilities to the manageable terrain of our own judgments, intentions, and actions. Next, Stoicism encourages us to apply rigorous reason to our perceptions. When faced with a confusing situation, instead of allowing our emotions to run wild, we pause. We ask, what are the facts here? What are my assumptions? Am I adding interpretations or narratives that aren't actually present? Often the fog lifts when we strip away the layers of emotional projection, fear-based imaginings, and unverified assumptions, leaving only the bare, objective truth of the situation. This process is akin to a mental decluttering. Imagine your mind as a room filled with dusty, disorganized thoughts. Clarity emerges not by adding more furniture, but by removing the unnecessary, by tidying up, and by letting in light. This means consciously choosing to step back from the constant influx of external noise, the opinions of others, the endless scroll of social media, the anxieties fueled by news cycles, and creating space for quiet reflection. For example, If you're at a career crossroads, instead of getting swept up in the fear of making the wrong choice or the pressure of societal expectations, a Stoic approach would involve 1. Acknowledging the uncertainty. I don't know the perfect path, and that's okay. 2. Identifying what is in your control. Your research, your skills development, your networking, your internal values. 3. Applying reason. What are the objective pros and cons? What aligns with your core virtues? Example, integrity, service, growth. What choice allows you to exercise your faculties most effectively? 4. Accepting the outcome. Whatever decision you make, you commit to facing its consequences with courage and adapting as needed. Clarity, then, isn't the absence of difficult choices, but the ability to approach them with a calm, discerning mind. It's about seeing things as they are, rather than as our fears or desires wish them to be. It's about understanding that, while the external world may remain complex and uncertain, our inner world, our command center, can always be a place of order and clear-sightedness, allowing us to navigate the most intricate dilemmas with a steady hand, reframing your entire reality, transforming chaos into meaning. Life is inherently chaotic. The universe, in its vastness and complexity, often appears indifferent to our plans, our desires, our sense of order. Unexpected events derail our carefully laid schemes. Global crises erupt, and daily annoyances chip away at our composure. It's easy to feel like a small boat tossed on a tempestuous sea, at the mercy of random, meaningless forces. But Stoicism offers a radical reinterpretation. It invites us to transform this chaos into meaning. The core of this transformation lies in the Stoic understanding of a rational, interconnected cosmos, often referred to as providence or logos. While we may not always comprehend the grand design, the Stoics believe that everything that occurs is part of an overarching, intelligent order. This isn't a call for passive resignation, but an invitation to find our place within this order and, crucially, to imbue even the most chaotic events with our own chosen meaning. We may not control the events, but we always control our response to them, and it is in our response that we forge meaning. When chaos strikes, whether it's a personal crisis like a sudden illness or an external disruption like political instability, our first instinct might be to protest, to rage against the unfairness, to descend into despair. But this response only amplifies the chaos within us. Instead, a Stoic approach encourages us to ask, how can I exercise virtue here? How can I find an opportunity for wisdom, courage, justice, or temperance in this disorder? If your travel plans are suddenly disrupted by unforeseen circumstances, what opportunity does this present? Perhaps for patience, for flexibility, for finding a new, unexpected adventure, or simply for accepting what cannot be changed with grace. If your community is facing a significant challenge, how can you act justly? How can you contribute to the common good, even if your individual impact seems small? If you find yourself in a deeply uncomfortable or frustrating situation, how can you demonstrate courage? By maintaining your inner calm, or temperance, by not allowing your emotions to dictate your actions. The transformation of chaos into meaning is not about finding a silver lining in every catastrophe, nor is it about believing that everything happens for the best in a simplistic, Pollyanna-ish way. It's about understanding that even when external events appear random, meaningless, or cruel, our internal capacity for meaning-making remains inviolable. We are not just passive recipients of fate. We are active participants in creating our experience. This perspective is profoundly empowering. It means that no matter how turbulent the external world becomes, our inner citadel, our capacity for reason and virtue, can remain a sanctuary of purpose. We don't wait for meaning to be handed to us. We actively create it by choosing to act virtuously in every circumstance. This is the ultimate freedom. The freedom to assert our highest values and find purpose even when everything around us seems to be falling apart. It's a profound dance with the universe, where we embrace the rhythm of its unpredictability and choose to move with intention, turning every twist and turn into a step towards our own growth and flourishing. Trusting in life's unfolding, embracing amor fati. As we integrate the lessons of loss, pain, confusion, and chaos, we arrive at one of the most beautiful and challenging aspects of Stoicism. Amor fati, the love of fate. This is not mere acceptance. It is an active, joyful embrace of everything that happens, not just what we deem good, but also what we perceive as bad, ugly, or inconvenient. It's a radical trust in life's unfolding, a profound understanding that every moment, every event, is not just tolerable, but is precisely what is needed for our growth and the exercise of our virtues. To love your fate means to cease fighting against reality. It means letting go of the constant mental commentary of if only, it shouldn't be this way, or this isn't fair. Such resistance only generates suffering. Instead, amor fati invites us to say yes to life in its totality. It's about recognizing that the obstacles are not merely in the path, they are the path. They are the material with which we build our character, the challenges that refine our spirit, and the opportunities that awaken our inner strength. This doesn't imply passivity or resignation. Amor fati isn't about giving up on striving for improvement or advocating for justice. It's about understanding that after you have done everything in your power, after you have acted with wisdom, courage, and integrity, you then embrace whatever outcome unfolds, knowing that even a negative outcome can serve a purpose in your development. It's the difference between saying, "This terrible thing happened, and I wish it hadn't," and saying, "This terrible thing happened, and I will use it to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate." Consider the gardener again. He does all he can to cultivate his plants. He waters them, fertilizes them, protects them from pests. But if a storm comes and damages his crop, he doesn't curse the storm. He accepts it as part of nature, assesses the damage, and then works with what remains, perhaps even discovering new ways to make his garden more resilient in the future. He loves the full cycle of nature, not just the sunny days. This trust in life's unfolding creates a profound sense of inner peace. When you truly believe that nothing comes to you that you cannot handle, and that everything serves a purpose, you are freed from the tyranny of constant worry and anxiety. You understand that your peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but on your internal disposition. You become the unshakable island in the midst of a turbulent sea, grounded in the knowledge that you are equipped to face whatever comes your way. Practicing amor fati means actively looking for the lesson in a missed opportunity, the strength forged in a period of struggle, the clarity gained from an unexpected turn. It's about seeing life as a master sculptor constantly shaping you and willingly submitting to its chisel, even when the process is uncomfortable. This proactive embrace of destiny allows us to not only endure life's challenges, but to actually thrive because of them, turning every moment into a conscious act of growth and self-mastery. This is how true freedom begins to blossom. Freedom from the illusion that you can control everything, and freedom to fully engage with life as it is, with an open heart and a resolute mind. Becoming truly free, the Stoic definition of liberation. When we talk about freedom in our modern context, we often think of political liberty, economic independence, or the ability to do whatever we want without external constraints. While these are valuable, the Stoic definition of freedom dives much deeper. For a Stoic, true freedom is an internal state, a liberation not from external chains, but from the chains we forge within our own minds. The tyranny of irrational desires, crippling fears, and the desperate need for external validation. Imagine a king who has absolute power, immense wealth, and universal adoration. Yet, if this king is consumed by fear of losing his throne, by insatiable desires for more power, or by constant worry about public opinion, is in the Stoic view a slave. He is enslaved by his own passions, by externals that hold sway over his inner peace. Conversely, a slave, stripped of all worldly possessions and conventional liberties, could be profoundly free if he possesses an unshakable inner citadel, a mind clear of irrational passions, accepting of what he cannot control, and focused solely on his own judgments and actions. Epictetus, himself a former slave, was a profound testament to this truth. This inner freedom is the ultimate goal of the Stoic path. It is the freedom from being buffeted by every changing wind of fortune, from the emotional roller coaster dictated by external events, and from the endless craving for things that are, by their nature, transient and uncontrollable. It is the freedom to choose your response to any circumstance, to align your will with reason and virtue, and to live authentically according to your highest principles, regardless of what the world throws at you. How do we achieve this radical freedom? It's through the consistent practice of the principles we've discussed. Discernment, constantly distinguishing between what is within our control, our judgments, intentions, actions, and what is not, everything else. This practice cuts the cords of attachment to externals. Virtue, cultivating wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance as the only true good. When our actions are guided by virtue, we are always acting in alignment with our best selves, and thus we are always free. Acceptance, embracing reality as it is, practicing amor fati. When we stop fighting what is, we liberate immense mental and emotional energy that was previously spent in futile resistance. Stage to our thoughts and judgments, catching them before they hijack our emotions. This allows us to observe our inner landscape without being enslaved by its storms. In modern life, this freedom manifests in tangible ways. It means not being beholden to the latest consumer trends, not letting a negative comment on social media shatter your self-worth, not allowing a career setback to define your entire identity, and not succumbing to the constant pressure to be busy or successful by external metrics. It means having the inner fortitude to stand firm in your values even when they are unpopular, to find contentment in simplicity, and to cultivate a deep sense of self-respect that is impervious to the whims of others. This freedom is not given. It is earned through diligent inner work. It is the profound realization that the only true prison is your own mind, and that you hold the key. When you realize that no external event, no person, no circumstance can take away your capacity for reason, your ability to choose how you react, and your commitment to virtue, Then and only then are you truly, irrevocably free. You become the master of your own inner kingdom, an impregnable citadel that no external force can conquer. Grounded in acceptance, virtue, and unshakable truth. The journey we've described, the transformation of pain into wisdom, confusion into clarity, and chaos into meaning, culminates in a life grounded in three fundamental pillars: acceptance, virtue, and unshakable truth. These are not abstract concepts, but practical tools, a stable foundation upon which to build a life of profound purpose and inner peace. Acceptance is the starting point. It's the courageous acknowledgement of what is, not a passive resignation, but an active embrace of reality as it presents itself, without resistance or resentment. It's accepting the things you cannot change, the past that cannot be altered, the present moment as it unfolds. This acceptance doesn't mean you approve of injustice or stop striving for improvement. It simply means you begin your response from a place of clear-eyed reality, rather than a futile battle against it. When you accept, you stop wasting energy on what you cannot control and redirect it towards what you can, your own actions and reactions. This frees you from the endless cycle of frustration and regret. Then there is virtue, the only true good in Stoic philosophy: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These are not merely admirable traits. They are the supreme excellences of human character, the highest expression of our rational nature. Wisdom, the ability to discern what is truly good, bad, or indifferent. It's practical judgment, sound reasoning, and the skill to navigate complex situations with clarity. Justice, treating others fairly, acting with integrity, and contributing to the common good. It's recognizing our interconnectedness and fulfilling our duties to humanity. Courage, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act rightly in the face of fear, difficulty, or pain. It's perseverance, resilience, and fortitude. Temperance, self-control, moderation, and harmony. It's mastering our desires and impulses, ensuring they serve us rather than enslave us. To live virtuously is to align yourself with the very purpose of human existence, ensuring that every action, every decision, contributes to your flourishing and the good of the world. Virtue is not just an ideal. It's a skill cultivated through daily practice, making our lives inherently purposeful. Finally, the unshakable truth that underpins it all: our judgments, our perceptions, our power of choice. This is the bedrock of our control, the one thing that no external force can ever take away from us. As Epictetus taught, it is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of things. This truth is unshakable because it is always available, always present, always within your reach. It means that while the world outside you may rage and roar, your inner sanctuary, your capacity for reason and choice remains inviolable. This truth empowers you to find purpose in everything, because you choose to find purpose. You choose to apply virtue. You choose to accept what is, and shape it into something meaningful. This is the profound order of life's unfolding that Stoicism invites you to trust. It's the conviction that nothing in your life is ever without purpose, because you, with your capacity for reason and virtue, can imbue it with purpose. Every struggle is an opportunity to practice courage. Every loss, an opportunity for acceptance and rebirth. Every moment of confusion, an invitation to seek clarity. Every chaos, a canvas for meaning. This path isn't easy. It demands constant vigilance, rigorous self-examination, and an unwavering commitment to your highest self. but within its challenge lies the promise of becoming not just resilient, but truly free. Free from the tyranny of external events, free from the dictates of unexamined emotions, and grounded in an acceptance of life's grand design, a commitment to virtue and the unshakable truth of your own inner power. So, the next time you face an obstacle, a setback, or a moment of profound uncertainty, pause. Remember that this moment is not random. It is deliberately placed. It is an invitation to engage, to learn, to grow. Will you see it as a stumbling block or a stepping stone? Will you lament what is, or will you embrace it as the very material you need to sculpt a stronger, wiser, more purposeful version of yourself? The choice, as always, is yours. If this exploration of Stoicism has resonated with you, if it has offered a new lens through which to view your life, then consider subscribing to the channel for more insights into ancient wisdom for modern challenges. And please, leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. What challenge in your life are you now ready to reframe with purpose? How will you transform your next obstacle into an opportunity for growth? I'd love to hear your reflections.